Hey everybody, what's up? This is Barry Gaines of Gaines Entertainment and the writer and director of A World of Worlds, Rise of the King. And you see, I have someone very special with us today. Now, we had a session with all the other actors and Constance right here wasn't able to make it, but today she is. So we have to put her in there, you know what I mean? Because she's really vital to this story right behind me. So, hey CP, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I am here today. I am here.
Awesome.
What's up?
I am your queen. You serve Syl's Republic, which means you serve me. So stand the fuck down.
Cool. All right, so you know what we're going to do this. Some people don't know who you are, and those that don't, introduce yourself and the character you play in the story.
My name is Constance Payne. I'm a knife hand aficionado, and on Barry's project, I play Kayla Kavorzian, the daughter of demons.
Yeah, hell yeah, yo. So and she does a great job, brings it to the next level. Anyone that's seen the first one, it was actually someone else playing the role, but Constance has now taken the role on the new one and just kind of brought it to the next level. Really great stuff. So I can't wait for everyone out there to see her. So now, Constance, you know what? I know people are going to want to know some things about you and about this film and you know what you did in this film and all that good stuff. So let's just jump off right into it. All right. So now you know I reached out to you and a while ago, and you know we were talking about this story for about what 2 years or something like that.
I was about to say the same thing. It was like 2 years we were going back and forth.
We're going back and forth on social media, like yo, what up, what up? Well, yo, what up? So finally, we're like, yo, okay, let's do this. So let people know what was about the character that you wanted that kind of got you interested in wanting to play something like this.
Well, really, I mean, the title of the character being the daughter of demons, I felt that kind of clicked with who I am just a little bit. I really enjoy being mean to people on camera. And I mean, you know me, Barry, like we've worked together, you know, and like I'm one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet in your life.
Always like
But
that with the best criminals.
yeah, but when it comes to being on camera, like I believe that being mean on camera is an art form. And I like to take that to the next level. I like to really produce those beats and bring up the tension in a scene and bring it back down. So like this character, I mean, she did all of that. Like, I love your writing. I think you should turn it into a book. So
maybe one day, yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day. It'd be cool. I'll help you out.
Yeah.
So it just really kind of spoke to me on those types of levels, and I enjoyed playing the character. I really did.
No, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're happy to have you. Absolutely. What kind of challenges I guess you felt? Was there any challenges or anything that about the character, like when you was actually thinking about it and just thinking about bringing like your angle to it? How did that work? Did you feel like I can just kind of bring my own angle to this? Was it challenging to do that?
No, I mean, I think the only challenging thing was, and no offense, like, so you're taller than me. Okay. And when you designed this fight choreography, you designed it as a person who's a foot taller than I. So your one step is like 2 steps for me. So that was one thing that I had to work around on set, is how to like glide and make the moves work for my body. And honestly, that was it. But when it comes down to like character and tone and scene study and all that type of stuff, I felt very comfortable with it. I didn't have a whole lot of questions. There was like, I think a couple questions here or there about tone when we were on set, just because I wanted to make sure that I was hitting the marks that you wanted me to hit, not just like doing my own thing with it, because I'm not one of those types of actors. Like, this is your vision, this is your project. So I want to perform in the way that you want me to. And I've got a wide range as an actor. So once we were able to communicate on like what it was that you wanted, and I could adjust, it was all good.
Good.
I'm
Yeah,
easy.
I mean, it was a great time. I mean, you was real easy. And you know what? People got to understand that I live in Florida and Constance lives in Georgia. Now I choreographed the fight scenes, but we really didn't have time. We didn't have time to really kind of get together and, you know, kind of
Do a
choreograph
fight
together.
practice.
You know, we
Yeah,
didn't practice at all. So when she got here, it was kind of like sink or swim, you know? And so we just worked it out. And I think Constance did a great job of just kind of trying to fill out what she saw that I was trying to describe, like, you know, with the means that we had online. So that's what you guys see in the movie. It's just Constance picking it up right away. So it was a fun day. And it was a fun, I mean, the whole thing was just great.
Yeah, I felt like it went super smooth, you know, like, because a lot of things you can't even figure out until you're on set. You know what I mean?
Right, that's right.
Like to get that definitive, that fine tuning on everything. And I felt like we all worked really well together, and everything went super smooth.
Yeah, it did. It did. Now you let's see. Now, do you see like actually being like you said, once you're on set, you got to fill it out. You know, it's always different than it is than than rehearsal. When it's live and the bullets are flying, things change. But as you're going into that space, how did you prepare mentally for it?
I mean, like I said, at heart, I'm a very nice person, but when I'm reading on a script that I'm supposed to be mean, I've had so many like mean and angry situations in my life, like people being mean to me, talking down to me, and doing those types of things, that it was very easy to project that for once. So, so that wasn't a challenge for me on preparing for that character. I just kind of like, went at it. I mean, one of the first films that I ever did, they wanted me to point at somebody's face, and they wanted me to yell at them and talk down to them. And I was like, well, that's rude. Like, I was taught never to do that. So I had like this weird, and I look at that every time I see that film now, I look at this weird little curvy fingered witch finger that I had, because that was the only way I could do it, was to give this like offbeat finger.
What's up with that finger, right?
Yeah. And now I can be like, fuck you. And, just I've got a lot more of experience of being, mean to people on camera. And then another thing that I like to do when I'm on a set, when I have to be specifically very intense or very mean to somebody on camera, is that when you or another director yells cut, I tell jokes with that person, because I need them to know, specifically the other actor opposite of me, that I'm not an asshole. This is just fun. We're just in scene. I'm just very intense, and I'm very scary when I do what I've been hired to do, because I am not going to disappoint. But just to make sure that they know that I am a human being, that I do care, that that I'm cool. Like, this is just fun. Like, I'll tell a lot of jokes between sets.
No, you do, and I think that that's a good point for the actors out there. I know everyone has their own way of doing things, and I think that's really good, especially if especially an intense actor like yourself and an intense character that you have. Yeah, sometimes you just kind of like tell people, hey, just relax, we're good, because you're in character for so long, for hours.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta have an
Barry, if I stayed in character the entire time, people would think I was a dick. They would be like, I don't ever want to work with her again. She's a total dick, blah, 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 blah. So like, I have to break that up. Otherwise, people wouldn't like me. And I like other actors, I like working with them. I want to be friends with them. Like, we're all in the same group. So there's no reason that I'm not trying to have an upper hand on anybody just because my scene might be stronger than your scene in the depiction of what we're doing. It's more or less that I'm just doing my job.
No, you're right. Now, being that, you've been in fight scenes before this, and you've been in these kind of movies, have you, being in like a sci-fi action film, it's not for everybody. But if somebody came along, like an actor, that said, listen, I've done these other films, these other genre films before, but I never did anything like this. I've never been into like a sci-fi film. I never did an action film before. what type of advice would you kind of give that person, that actor who wants to kind of get into this kind of genre of filmmaking?
The biggest piece of advice, which I didn't totally understand when that was given to me, is just basically don't walk in on the set with a certain idea of how you're going to say your lines or how this scene is going to go. Like, that's not up to you. You know, it's up, you know, the director has the full control, but then also whoever is acting opposite of you is going to kind of give you some type of energy and that you have to flow off of. And that's what makes the scene, because you guys kind of have to, like, while you might have opposite opinions in as characters in the scene, you know, opposite energy, it still flows together. So, you know, under the direction of a director, you know, it will work and it'll combine, but you as an actor have to just kind of be free and flow, and, you know, don't memorize your lines a certain way. Don't walk in going, this is how this scene is going to go, and you know, this is how I visualize it as a person because of how I'm reading it. You know, just go into it with an open mind, know your lines, know the basics of the scenes, like bullet points of what your scenes are. And yeah, be open-minded that there are several different ways that this can go based on the director's direction and who you're acting opposite of.
Now, when it comes to, like, you know, like fantasy films and action films, as opposed to like a drama film or a documentary or what have you, what is like the biggest difference you see or you feel when you go into, say, as opposed to going to a full drama and then you're going into a fantasy film? Do you prepare differently, or, you know, how do you get yourself in that space? Like, what would you tell, I should say, what would you tell somebody who never went in, came into like the fantasy world, the fantasy genre, the fantasy people, cosplay, like that whole world that we're in? What would be the biggest like advice you would probably give to those guys if they want to get into this family?
I would say, like, specifically, like on a cosplay genre, don't try to completely mimic the character that you're portraying. Yep. Bring a little of that character and bring most of yourself into that. And then, you know, whatever the director wants, you know, like, it's got to be that triangle compilation right there. Like, it's got to have all of that, you know, because when people watch fan films specifically, they're watching it because they're a fan of that character, they're a fan of that series, they're a fan of, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, but they do want to see something a little bit different. They don't want to see somebody completely mimicked. And it's kind of like the same thing in acting classes. Like, if people get sides from like famous movies and stuff like that, don't say it the way that famous person said it, because that was the interesting way that they said it. Say it the interesting way that you would say it. So having self-confidence is a big key in all of that. And just, you know, when you're talking specifically about like sci-fi, going from a different genre to another, you know, there's like action sci-fi, there's drama sci-fi, you know, there is a little bit of another genre always into sci-fi, depending on the tone of what you're doing. And so as long as you understand what specific part of sci-fi you're doing, whether it's dragons or demons or other worlds, you know, do your research, like watch those movies, see what's going on, and then take what it is that you need from that and make it your own with what you have to offer as an actor.
No, that's right. You're right. I mean, it's all about research, prep, you know, like understand where you're going into, you know.
Read. Reading is great. Books, not just movies. Like, read books. Please read books, everyone. Read books.
So hard to get people to read books nowadays. I know we're old school, right?
Well, no, nothing will teach you more about character development and understanding characters than reading paper. You know, like watching movies helps. It does, to kind of get a good flow, but reading books.
Now, question about your character in World of Worlds. Is there something that, because I know that you just started kind of getting into this character, so I know it's kind of the beginning stages for you, but if there's something you like the audience to know about the character without giving anything away, or something that we really haven't shown that you just want people to understand about Kayla, what would you say, maybe in short?
That she is emotionally closed off.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how to answer that question without giving too much away, actually. I
Yeah,
could say she's emotionally closed off, and again, the daughter of demons.
demons.
So what do you think, people?
That's right. Yeah, she is kind of complex. She's very,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
complex.
There's
She's
some
very
levels. I don't think love is part of what she experiences in life, but you know, that's just me.
No, no, you're right. You hit it on the head. You know, like I said, you're in the beginning stages of this character, so it's just so much. But you know, you did such a good. I mean, you did such a good performance. Captured what I needed. You know, everything that's on
Thank
paper,
you.
all the little ebbs and flows. So I love that. I just can't wait for people to see you on this. I mean, in this movie, what you've done with it, and then people can compare. But I really don't want people to compare. I just want people to see you and see what you did, and just see what Kayla is about, and then you really kind of brought my character to life in that, in a way where it really kind of made her go to another level, as I mentioned before. So I thank you for that.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate that. I heard that from a few of your crew members on set. They're like, "You're next level. Like this was awesome." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I'm just like doing me, you know what I mean? Like I was just doing my job. Like I didn't think it was, you know, I always feel like when I do my job, I'm doing a great job because I'm not one of those I'm not a skim worker. I'm not just here touching the basins here. Like when I drop in on set, it's all about you, it's all about your project, it's all about this character, no matter what I have going on in my life. And I just go, I hit the ground running, and I want to know that at the end of the day I can be proud of myself for what I did.
Yeah, I mean, and we are proud. And you know, I tell you what, one thing I want to add is that anybody that wants to be part of you know, the fantasy world, like the movies, the action movies, even mine. There's something that I just have to say, everyone needs to understand. As an actor, you have to understand you will come out with scars. There, you know, you're not sitting at a bar talking. You are out there either fighting, or you're out there really mingling. You having all this gear on you. You know, this thing is just fun. So everyone comes out with some scars. You know, Constance can tell you that happened there. You know, she already put a scar on somebody. So, you know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens in this world. Yeah. So it's funny. And she,
You know, also when you have experience falling better, I think you wouldn't have as many scars, but that's just me. So.
Exactly. You know, you tap a little jaws, you know, you're all right. You know, you wakes you
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean? But I want to thank Constance for coming on and sharing her experience about World of Worlds, Rise of the King. Her first time being as Kayla Kovizian, and we're so happy that she's on board. She's part of this. And I want everyone out there to check this out, see what she brought to the table and how she has raised the level of the character that I created. And she put it to a place I didn't even know it can be. So thank you everyone for watching. If you want to watch the other guys, watch the other videos, you can see the other actors talk about their experiences and what they have gone through and what they are doing. And actually, before I let CP go, we're going to ask her, is there something out there that you want people to know that you're about to show? Any something new that you want to share?
Let me
That you
think.
can say anyway.
I did just have an episode of A Haunting come out yesterday, and it's streaming on Discovery Plus. It's episode 3, Daydreams and Nightmares. I played the lead as Dana Walters. Her and her wife owned a costume shop, and it used to be a crematorium. Dun dun dun.
Oh man, crematorium.
So yes,
Constance goes
so
right
check
into it,
that
right?
out.
She's just attracted to people. She's attracted to those things. I mean, those things just kind of, she's like magnet to those things, you know. So, yep, there you go.
I'm all about the horror, man. So check out Daydreams and Nightmares on Discovery Plus. It's streaming there.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, everyone out, check it out. Check out World of Worlds at the end of the month. It'll be streaming on Amazon, Apple TV, and Google Play, and other places as well. But check those 3 places out after the 22nd, not before. All right, guys, see you later. Love you. Bye.